Okay, you guys, before you watch this video, I just want to let you guys know that we're discussing more advanced barbering techniques. And I just want to warn you that if you're a student or if you're somebody new at this, you're probably going to have a little bit of difficulty following it, and it might just confuse you. So I would tell you guys to probably skip this video or save it for a future date if that's the case. Now, if you kind of understand what you're doing, you understand how to blend, you're starting to get some of the fundamentals, you'll know what I'm talking about in this video, and it might help you out. Let's go. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Mr. Eddie Barber, and I've been thinking lately. I've been thinking about putting in skin lines and how you guys should be putting in your skin lines. Now, basically there's a few schools of thought behind this, so let me just name a few. There are people who believe that you shouldn't put such a harsh skin line in, such as what I like to do with the 5-0. People feel that maybe you should put a slightly less harsh skin line in, and there are people who believe that you should put no line in whatsoever, and you should just down fade everything. How is it that you guys are putting in your skin lines? Leave it in the comment below. I would like to open this up for a discussion to people on my channel so that you guys could just go to the comment section and you can see what everybody else is doing. Don't put harsh guidelines in. Theory being that if I didn't put a harsh guideline in, then there would be no hard line to remove. Sounds great, right? So let's think about this first one for a second. Now, if I decide to put, say, a guideline in with my 3-0, or if I decided to put a guideline in with my open taper, or maybe a half guard, or something of that nature. There's plenty of barbers who do that, and you know, just a quick disclaimer, I'm not saying that what anybody else is doing is wrong. I'm just going to give you guys my opinion on it. So if I decided to put my guideline in with an open taper, then that means that my guideline is going to be really easy to remove with this exact same tool. What could go wrong? You put your guideline in with something other than your 5-0, and then you're forced to kind of guess where to stop right below it. So for instance, you come in with a 000, then you come underneath with your 5-0, then you come underneath that with your electric shaver. Hope everybody's following me. There's going to be a little bit of guesswork as you approach each line because you're not going to be 100% certain where to be. And the next problem you might run into is it's going to be very difficult to manage the amount of space you've left in between that 3 and that 5 all the way around the head. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get it right or that you shouldn't try this or that this isn't something, but I will say this. I don't know why, but I've still been experimenting for 17 years. And the last 2 weeks, I decided to put my guidelines in with the fast feeds or with the open taper on the wall or with the masters. That technique has caused me to spend a lot more time. Moving on to down fading. Now, for those who might not know, down fading would be putting in, say, no lines, and it has its advantages, so let's just talk about it. If I was going to do a number 2 on the top of my head, what could I take into a number 2 that would create no line? The answer is a 1 1/2 open. What could I take just underneath that 1 1/2 open? I could close that 1 1/2, shave all this hair up. Then I could switch to the 1 open, stay just below where I was. Now you guys can see how time consuming this is. In this technique, the down fading technique, there's 2 problems that I see. One being the most important is you're gonna waste a lot of time because you're gonna travel over the exact same area over and over and over again. 2, it's actually gonna be difficult for you to maintain the exact same blend throughout the head. There has been times where I've experimented with the down fading technique. After I was done cutting it, I realized that my blend was smooth, there was no imperfections in it, it was all nice, but then I realized that actually my blend was a little higher on one side than the other because I didn't have that verification as I was moving down. I wasn't following steps in a perfect order. I was just kind of letting my eyes guide me to the target and letting my eyes, you know, get the blend the way that I wanted it. So there's certainly probably more disadvantages for down fading for me. Now, I did this video on when to flip and when not to flip. Flipping your wrist is something that I just want to mention in this video real quick. And for those of you guys who are maybe new to this channel, what I mean by that is in order to execute the fade, we're going to flip the wrist, right? But I tell you guys all the time, you don't have to do that. You probably shouldn't do that, especially if you're new. Don't do that. There is a time and a place for it, and I talk about it in that video. And if you guys like, I think I could maybe even do a better job on that video. We could revisit the topic of flipping your wrist when you move. But You don't need to flip your wrist when you move because we got all our guards here. And these guards are set up to perfection to sort of overlap each other and help you to create the perfect blend. That would be another technique, say wrist flipping. We're just gonna throw that one in there, but that's not really something that's gonna help you, because I really feel like at the end of the day, flipping your wrist is probably gonna lead to inconsistency eventually and probably cause you to have to work more. So it's kind of like when you half-ass a job and then you have to go back and fix it. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather just be thorough and do it right the first time. The next topic, upfading. There are those who believe I put the harsh skin line in and then I'll begin with the closed taper and I'll open it slightly and I'll move up the head. Now, upfading works fine. There's nothing wrong with upfading. There's a lot of great barbers who do portions of upfading in their process. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out Ant the Barber, he's dope. He's dope, and it's only gonna get doper from here. And he uses some upfading, and I've experimented with it, and I can say a couple good things about upfading is it can save time because you're not going through the same process over and over again, where you might in, say, a downfading system. However, if you blend upfading with downfading, I think we're kind of getting somewhere in our technique that we should be considering. And I guess this might just confuse a new barber. So if you're not following me, like I said, just stick to the tutorials, learn how to walk before you run. I think this would be something that would be a little bit better for a barber who's getting a little bit more advanced, understands how to blend and that kind of thing, and wants to kind of know what other people who have some success are doing. I think it's time to open the shop. This is kind of the only time I'm ever going to get for voiceovers because, you know, like 15 minutes. It's 7:20. It's 7:25. I just got out of CrossFit, and in like 10 minutes, there's going to be a bunch of people starting to pull up in here. So I got to get this video. I got to get this video done because I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a while, and I keep avoiding it with more tutorials and more stuff. The other thing that I've seen some other great barbers doing, like OG Walker, I've seen him talk about, he likes to put a lot of his guidelines in with the 3-0. Now, that's kind of interesting. If you put your guideline in with the 3-0, it's certainly going to be a little bit easier to remove, and I think that technique has worked really well for him. I mean, his fades are flawless, and I've experimented with putting my guidelines in with the 3-0, and I've had some pretty good success there too. But the only thing I can say also is it has caused me to kind of chase my tail a little bit, which means that it's a nice way of saying it's caused me to waste a little bit more time. I feel that if your tools are set up properly, you really shouldn't have that much of a fight with any skin line. I mean, I'm willing to do battle with just about any line that anybody could possibly fathom to put in. You could put a line in with a straight razor and you could get it out, given the tools that we have access to this day and age. Because I've been cutting hair to the point where we didn't even have the half guard. We didn't even have the 1-in-1 half guard, and we didn't even have electric shavers. So with that being said, the tools that we have today are excellent, and they're really going to help. And I leave a link in the description to all the tools that I like the most, and if you guys want to check them out, you're more than welcome to. You know, we're just trying to find the easiest technique that allows us to do the best haircut in the least amount of time with the highest grade of quality. And in order to do that, you can see that pretty much any fade system that you decide to use has its ups and downs, okay? So there's going to be a disadvantage to the upfading system where it's very easy to push the fade too high. There's going to be a disadvantage to the downfading system where it's very easy to blend it perfectly but have the fade be too high and too low on the other side and maybe not be quite as uniform. Some of these fade systems are going to waste you time. Some of them are going to be more efficient. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to, say, OG Walker or Vic Blends or, you know, all these other barbers who are fortunate enough to do celebrities and charge a lot of money for their haircuts, I'm not one of them. I only charge $21. I have a lot of regular guys going through here. I have to be quick enough to still make a good amount of money and so that I can still work down here in the trenches. Now, of course, I would love to take an hour with my haircuts and really perfect every single last thing. But for many of us who are actually down in the trenches, that's just not possible. Okay, you might be in a market that you can't charge $100 for a haircut, and I get it. So Let's identify some constants. They're going to help you speed up your game and give you a good system to work with. This video is getting a little bit too long. All right, you guys, I'm sorry to leave you with this cliffhanger, but this next video, it deserves its own format and its own thing. And that is going to be 3 fade systems to help you perfect any blend and when to use them on what clients. I think this video is going to be really helpful, and it's going to give you a better idea of what to do in what situation. So before I go, I want you guys to just let me know how it is that you guys are doing your blends. Leave some comments. Let's open up the discussion. Let's talk about it. As always, all the links for everything you see me using in this video are in the description. And I just want to thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Also, before I let you go, I just want to remind you guys that there is a Bronze Series 9 that's up for grabs on my channel. If you haven't seen the video, you need to go back and check that out. It is labeled as such. A very easy contest to get in, and I'm wishing luck to all of you guys who are participating in the giveaways. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I can't believe I'm at 42,000 subscribers. It feels unreal. So the response has been tremendous. I love all you guys, and thank you guys for subscribing. On to my next video. I'll see you guys real soon. I'm out.